Okay, hi class. So today's lesson is on fossils, patterns in fossils and rock formations. Okay, so what are fossils? Fossils are the remains of plants and animals that lived a long time ago, really long time ago. So here we've got fossilized dinosaurs, maybe. Right, so you've got different types of fossils. So the first fossils we're going to look at, they're all called body fossils. Body fossils, made of the bodies of animals, bones, shells, or the body of a plant, like the leaves, the stem. These are all body fossils. So one type is called mold and cast fossils. So these occur where the animal has decayed, it's rotted away, but what's filled in the space is different rock. So it's been replaced with rock, and then you get the shape, like when you make a sandcastle at the beach. Yeah, you move the bucket away, and you still have the shape of the sandcastle. It's the same with these mold fossils. So the animal has rotted away, decayed. It's not there anymore, but the shape it left is still there, and it's been filled up with sand or rock. Okay. So you have another type here. It's called a replacement fossil. So replacement fossils happen when water has dissolved the bones and it's replaced the bones with mineral. It's kind of like it's replaced it with a different kind of rock. Okay, we'll look at a picture of that next. So they still look like the bones. It looks like the skeleton of a dinosaur, but really the bones aren't made of bone anymore. They've all been dissolved away, washed away by the water and replaced with rock. And then this last type we have whole body fossils. This is where the body's still the same. It's been saved from rotting away by maybe it's been frozen. You get the woolly mammoths have been frozen in ice. You dig them up and it's still there. It's like freezing something in your freezer at home. Or when the little insect falls into the tree sap that comes off the tree and it goes really hard, and it can preserve the little insect there for millions of years. We'll look at some pictures of that as well. Okay, here. So this is one of those replacement fossils here. Replacement fossil. So you can see that the bones that make up this dinosaur, this Stegosaurus, the bones have been replaced by rock. Millions and millions of years. Okay. Here's a picture of the mold and the cast fossils. So the little shell, the little creature, it's all rotted away, it's dissolved away. Nothing remains, but because of the shape of the creature before, it's made this mold and this cast. So you can still see what it looked like. It's very cool. Here's a fossil of the pterodactyl, and here we've got one of those. Just here, we've got one of those whole body fossils where the insect's been stuck in the tree sap and it's formed amber, and it's stayed there. So these could be millions of years old. This dragonfly, very cool. All right, different type of fossils called trace fossils. So trace fossils, they're not actually made of the animal, okay? But it's something the animal left behind. So it could be footprints. So, when you leave a footprint on the beach, so animals left footprints behind millions of years ago. Sometimes these get solidified, they can turn solid and hard, in rock, and they can last for millions of years. Same way, this middle one, trackways, that's just lots of footprints all together. Okay, and this third one, coprolites. What are they? Fossil feces. You know what feces means? I'll tell you. Feces means poo. So millions of years ago, these animals did a poo, and it was fossilized. Much like how the body fossils we looked at before, the same way. Maybe the poo got replaced with rock. Now we have these solid rocks in the poo shape. They last for millions of years. So we can learn stuff from that, though. We can learn where animals used to live, where they used to eat and make their nests. Okay, so as new rock layers lay down in the sea, they all go one on top of the next one, on top of the next one, top of the next one, top of the next one. We make these layers. We have a name for these layers. Strata, rock strata. So these different layers, the strata, are formed over millions of years. Different rocks get laid down. Sometimes the stuff that makes the rocks, maybe the plants and animals that have died, or whatever was in the ocean at the time, as it laid down, sometimes there's different stuff in there, different animals or different chemicals, different minerals, and this can lead the different layers to have different colors. You can see here. It's very nice, very easy to see where the different layers are. Okay, so this is a great way of looking back. So if you look at rock layers, you see that the oldest one would be at the bottom, of course, and then new layers get put on top. We call this the law of superposition. You don't need to remember, it's just a fancy word. All we need to know is that the oldest ones would be on the bottom and new ones go on top. So you look at this picture here. Now, we've got these 4 different sea creatures. We've got this like little snaily thing, some kind of clam, maybe an early type of crustacean or lobster. And we've got this nice spiral shell, cone shell here. But how do we know which one's the oldest? Is A the oldest? Is B the oldest? C or D? Well, we can just guess that D here is the oldest type of fossil because it's on the lowest layer. Easy. However, rocks move around. Over thousands and hundreds of thousands and millions of years, rocks get pushed up and pulled down and crushed together and pulled apart, and then rocks end up all crazy different shapes. So you can see here, this rock has been pulled down here. So if you looked at this bit of rock here, you'd say that this bit of rock is lower down than this bit of rock. But which one's older? So it's not always the one that's on the highest up that's the youngest, because sometimes the rocks can be pushed around. You've got to remember that. See here, all the rocks have been tipped to the side. You can go really extreme like this. Whoa! See, all the rocks have been squished together. Cool. So it's quite hard there to see which layer is the oldest layer, which is the youngest layer. Sometimes you have to use different methods to find out how old the rock is. Okay, so we're going to do some time travel now, because I like to time travel in my spare time. When I've got a lot of time, away from school, like at the moment. I do lots of time traveling. So we're going to time travel using rocks, though, I'm afraid. So we see here these shells here. These weren't a long time. They weren't a long time ago. Quite recent. And you can look back in time. So we're time traveling, going further back and back in time. We can't go forwards using this method of time travel, only backwards. Okay. And then we look all the way to the bottom. We've got the oldest creatures here at the bottom. So I'm going to take you on a trip through different eras of time. Okay. So first we're going to go back 4,500 million years ago. Okay. So we call this, see here at the bottom, the Precambrian. So it means before Cambrian. So these are just the names of the era. You don't need to remember these names, but you just need to know that we had different names for different periods of time, millions of years ago. So yeah, this is hundreds and hundreds, thousands of millions of years ago. So this is the Precambrian. So back then, oh yeah, time travel. Whoa. Okay with that. Right. Precambrian. So during the Precambrian times, on the surface of the planet, it was all volcanoes. The air was just carbon dioxide. You couldn't breathe it. All the lakes were acidic, and the volcanoes were exploding with fire all the time. It wasn't a nice place to live. But life was starting underwater. So in the seas, we had these weird, soft animals of funny shapes. And they didn't really do much to each other. They kind of just moved around, nibbled a bit of food off the rocks. Didn't really fight with each other or anything. Now, does anyone know what starfish is like? It's kind of like a starfish, some of these ones here. Mostly all soft bodies, and they kind of just floated around. Okay. And I like some jellyfish as well. That type of thing in the Precambrian. Okay, now we're going to time travel again. This time we're going to go to the Paleozoic. So this is 248 to 540 million years ago. Paleozoic. Okay. Whoa, time travel. Okay, time travel, right. Paleozoic. So all the creatures in the sea started changing a lot during the Paleozoic. So we ended up with these kind of like squid, yeah, but with big shells. Lots of animals developed big tusks for fighting. Animals started to eat each other instead of just eating plants. Okay. And then on land, we ended up with these fierce-looking reptiles. Okay, so animal life had started moving to the land, as well as plant life, which had been there before. Okay, it's time travel again. This time we're going to go to the Mesozoic or Mesozoic. I say Mesozoic. So this is 65 to 248 million years ago. That's where I'm reading that from. Okay, you ready? Time travel again? Whoa, time travel. Many people think I look like Doctor Who. Right, so Mesozoic now. So you've probably heard of some of the Mesozoic animals before. So we have the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Tyrannosaurus Rex, that was a Mesozoic animal. Terrifying, big dinosaur, tiny little hands. Okay, but also the crocodile. Crocodile. We still have crocodiles today, but actually they've been around for millions of years. They're just like dinosaurs that never died out. Crocodiles are really cool. Right, it's Tyrannosaurus Rex. And in the sea we had this terrifying creature. Luckily, they don't exist anymore, otherwise I would not go swimming. Right, okay, we've got one more time period to go. Now this last period of time we call the Cenozoic. The Cenozoic. Okay, and that time period goes from 65 million years ago all the way until now. So we're still in the Cenozoic. So from now to 65 million years ago, we call the Cenozoic period of time. Okay. So what creatures do we find then? Oh wait, we have to time travel first. Whoa, time travel, time travel, time travel, time travel. Okay, Cenozoic. So during the Cenozoic, this is after the dinosaurs got killed. So I don't know if you know, most of the dinosaurs got destroyed by a big asteroid coming from space. Destroyed, killed most of the dinosaurs. And then the mammals took over. So it's things with warm blood. So the mammals took over. So you see in this picture, got lots of different mammals. Like a 2-horned rhino. Cool. And maybe you recognize some of these, like the woolly mammoth. They came about in the Cenozoic period. And the saber-toothed tiger. Big teeth. And also humans. We evolved in the Cenozoic time period. So I think that's enough for this video today. And I've set you some further work, so you should do that now. Goodbye.